Hello everyone. So today we'll be doing the process of attitude formation. Firstly, let us understand how are these attitudes being formed. They are formed mainly because of two factors. One is of course through your own experiences in life, and second is through your interactions with other people. Now coming to the process of attitude formation, the first one is learning attitudes by association. Association is a link, it is a connection which you tend to form with other party or people, which further leads to the formation of attitude, which can be either positive or negative towards a particular topic. For instance, you have seen children who develop a very strong liking, a lot of fondness towards a particular subject. That happens because they are able to see many positive qualities in the concerned teacher who's teaching the subject. They further link all of these qualities, the positive qualities of the concerned teacher, to the subject that the teacher is teaching, and which takes the shape of a deep liking, a strong liking, a lot of fondness for that subject, so basically, which will ultimately lead to the formation of attitude, which will lead to the formation of an positive attitude, because if he's been able to develop a strong liking for the subject because he's been admiring the positive qualities of the teacher, it will ultimately shape into the liking for the subject, which will further lead to the formation of a positive attitude towards the subject. And that positive attitude has happened because there's been an association that has been created between, of course, the teacher and the student. Likewise, we've seen a lot of celebrities who endorse items, many items, mainly they endorse so many brands, and we tend to develop a lot of fondness, a strong liking towards a particular item, and that is also somewhere because we do admire that celebrity. There is an association, a connection, a link being formed. We do admire, we do look up to them, which further leads to formation of a positive attitude towards that item that probably the celebrity could be endorsing. That's how the attitude gets formed, because of associations, because of connections, because of links. So now coming to the next one, which is learning attitudes by being rewarded or punished. So we know that when an individual will be praised for showing a particular kind of an attitude, definitely he will be able to develop that attitude even more. He will be able to enhance that attitude even more. Why? Because he's getting that kind of boost, that kind of encouragement. He's getting that kind of push in the form of in the form of praise, in the form of appreciation. So it will lead to the enhancement of that attitude ultimately. Like for instance, you see a lot of children who are doing their exercises quite well, and they are also appreciated in the end that, look at her, she can do these exercises so well, she can run so fast, her posture is so good, like the way she sits, the way she pays attention in the class is so admirable. So it does give that kind of a push, to the child, and she will continue to maintain that kind of attitude, and she will develop slowly a very positive attitude towards doing regular exercises, being more attentive, being able to concentrate more in the class, to be able to actually sit straight always, to maintain good postures. So definitely, likewise, like how if we talk about simply COVID awareness, we have seen a lot of people taking precautions. So when we tend to kind of see people, moving with masks or carrying a sanitizer, wearing gloves. And for instance, if you also observe maybe in a couple of institutes that are probably opened, where people come fully covered, fully equipped, when they are given an appreciation, when they are really looked upon for such a kind of a great social behavior, where they're able to maintain that kind of social responsibility towards people, they will tend to have more and more positive attitude towards being able to equip themselves even better every time. because they are being praised, they are being appreciated for it, for being so aware, for continuing to maintain that kind of social responsibility. So it pertains to so many things that are happening in our daily lives, that how, we are able to enhance a particular attitude, we are able to develop a positive attitude towards a particular topic when we get encouraged, when we get that kind of boost, when we get that kind of push. And likewise, when we do get punished, obviously we do learn lessons, and we will develop a negative attitude then, and we will not repeat it again. For instance, if a child has been having a lot of junk food and he keeps falling ill, he will realize that this is not good for me, even if it's quite late that he realizes. But ultimately, yeah, maybe a point comes where he will start developing, a negative attitude towards junk food and will not have it again. So, this is how, through our own experiences in life, through our interactions with so many people, we tend to form attitudes. Then, of course, we have the third one, which is learning attitudes through modeling, which is observing others. This, I think, we all have our role models. We look up to them. We tend to observe their behavior. We learn from them, and so when we learn from them, we tend to do the same things, and in our own immediate environment, we are looking at so many people around us. And because it's like a lockdown at the moment, people are at home, and there are so many things that you're learning from your parents, from your siblings. Maybe it could be like, especially how to respect others, or maybe how to really take care of your own room, and to really take care of your own belongings. So when you look at your mother, your father, your maybe older brother, sister, you pick up these good things, and then you start developing more and more positive attitude towards that particular thing, because you have developed firstly a liking for it, and that will ultimately turn to development of a positive attitude, you know and that is how, you are able to really learn from your elders, because you are observing them and you are learning from them and doing the same things as they are doing, of course. And then is learning attitudes through group or cultural norms. So we all know that our culture, our group to which we belong, it does have these norms, and these norms are nothing but they are unwritten rules, and we have to follow them, because they probably can be different pertaining to different groups or cultures wherever we being brought up. So like for instance, a common one which we all have is how we tend to perform certain religious rituals, in a place of worship, what all we do, since it's a festive season, and we all will kind of take care and make sure that our house is cleaned properly, and we have all the basic things in order to do the Diwali puja, the cleaning of the house and all of that. So this is something which is we are learning from our own cultural norms. And when kind of when a lot of people will see that this is something which is being socially approved and everybody likes it, and this is how the society works, these are the basic norms, they will also start developing a positive attitude towards such kind of behavior. And they will start associating this feeling of devotion, and they will also start doing the same things. So we all have our own cultural or group norms by which we all kind of function. We function by these cultural norms, by these group norms. Now coming to, of course, learning through the exposure to information. This is pertaining to that basically how much information we do have in the social media today. And because we can quickly access to so much on the media immediately, we have a lot of positives and negative attitudes that are being formed. And for instance, there could be many people who have worked very, very hard, and they've really been able to transform their situations, and they share their own experiences, their own personal struggles in the form of their little experiences or biographies. We read them, we listen to them, we get inspired, and we really feel that, If they can do it, so can I. So we tend to start developing positive attitude. Likewise, we can also develop negative attitude towards so many things, because social media today has become a hub of information, and everything is accessible with just a click. It's just kind of a click away. So we get to the information, and that is how our attitudes are being formed each day. Even maybe a negative attitude can get formed towards certain people, public figures. Positive attitude can also be formed towards certain public figures. It is all because we are going through their personal struggles, their experiences, maybe their success stories, etc. So that is how it leads ultimately to the formation of either positive or negative attitude. So this was all about how is the attitude is formed, and after, of course, the attitude being formed, it is also another thing that's responsible for attitude formation is ultimately your process of attitude formation, under which we talked about the five basic processes and the two important factors that lead to attitude formation. That is, of course, underlying all of these five important processes is, of course, through your own experiences in life and through interactions with other people. So this was all about the attitude formation, and of course the process behind attitude formation. Thank you so much.